Good morning, everyone. In India, 20th February is celebrated as National Science Day. On this day in 1928, national scientist Sir Chandrasekhara Venkata Raman discovered a phenomenon of scattering of photons, which was later known as Raman Effect after his name. After 2 years in 1930, he got Nobel Prize for this remarkable discovery, and this was the first Nobel Prize for India in the field of science. To mark the discovery of his famous phenomenon, National Science Day is celebrated in India on the day each year. I am Anukada, serving as an organizing committee member for I2OR National Science Day Awards 2022. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome one and all to the virtual ceremony. The said ceremony is being organized by International Institute of Organized Research, I2OR, India, which is a registered MSME with Ministry of MSME, Government of India. We decided to go virtual to recognize remarkable contributions of individuals through different categories, which includes research excellence, academic excellence, young researchers, young scientists, and young scholars. Moving ahead with the plenary session, I would like to take this opportunity to invite our keynote speakers to share their expert talks with a theme on science and technology in education. Let us welcome Dr. Rahul Pethe, Dean Training and Placement, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication, G.H. Raisoni, Institute of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur.
Hello and welcome you all in the session of introduction to IoT, that is Internet of Things. We can say that it's not an Internet of Things, it is a Internet of everything. So we can observe here in a picture, we can see engineering in our daily life. So the person who cannot hold a spoon properly, but because of technology, because of engineering, it can be possible. So this is one of the era where we can design or develop such innovative ideas or concept through Internet of Things. So Internet of Things, what is Internet of Things? Internet of Things provides networking to connect people, things, application and data through the internet to enable remote control, management and interactive integrated service without human to human interaction or human to computer interaction. It means there is no any interaction with machine with human. So it can be possible whenever the data is available on internet, and the process started in the year of 1999 by British technology pioneer Kevin Ashton. So this is one of the basic definition of Internet of Things. But the scale of Internet of Things, we can say that number of mobile devices exceed the number of people on the earth. Whatever the nodes, whatever the mobile devices, whatever the sensor data are available, so predictions are made that there will be 50 to 60 billion things connected to the internet by 2022. 50 to 60 billion things, whatever the information, whatever the device, whatever the physical informations are available in a free space, that will be available on internet. So the innovation started in the year of 1970, that is invented remotely monitored metered on electrical grid, IP-enabled toaster in 1990, IP-enabled soda machine in 1995, internet-connected coffee pot in 2001. So this is an example. These are the few examples. But in the era of 2020, so it will be more and more. Now it's a large scale. So IoT services supports some advanced IoT services will need to collect, analyze and process segments of raw sensor data, whatever the physical data, physical information are available in a free space, that are get collected through sensors and turned into the operational control information, and that will be used for a future itself and statistical analysis with the previous data. So it will be a predicted information. Some sensor data types may have massive size, so due to large number of IoT devices, it can be available. So IoT data will need cloud computing supports. IoT data analyze will need big data supports. So because of massive size of data, it required a cloud computing, it required the big data. It can be also processed through artificial intelligence, machine learning and some of the new technologies that may be available in future itself. So those who will get influence, the people, why and how? because more things can be monitored and controlled, people will become more capable. So if the more things can be monitored, definitely more people will get capable enough to process that data. So process more users and machines can collaborate in a real time, more complex tasks can be accomplished in a laser time. Definitely it can be possible in a laser time. Nowadays we can observe everything in on a single click of our button or a fingertip of our button. So data, collect data more frequently and reliably. We have a more example like banking sector, we have other different examples. Result is more accurate decision making, so it's safety and secure, and the things become more controllable, more devices and things become more valuable. So these are the influence of IoT. Number of influence of IoTs are available. Few of them we are going to discuss in future itself. Few of them are available in with us. So these are the influence of IoT which are a part of your IoT devices. Next we can see about that the Internet of Things ecosystem. So one by one we can say about that entity includes businesses, government and consumers are the ecosystem with the Internet of Things. Second we can say about that the physical layer, the hardware that makes an IoT devices including sensors, networking, gears. These are the things which are a part of physical layer that are physically available in a free space and that we may connect with the hardware and that may be available on a cloud. Next we can say that about network layer. So about the responsible for transmitting the data collected by the physical layer to the different devices are the most important part for the network layer. So it will be responsible to transmit the data and collect it at a different location or a different layer. Next we have ecosystems are nothing but application layer. This includes the protocol and interfaces that devices use to identify and communicate with each other. So applications layers included a protocol are nothing but your rules for communication and interface all the devices easily with that hardware and that available that data on a cloud. So this is the application layer part. Now the remote things, the node or the device may be available where we have to place or where we have to connect. So enable entities that utilize IoT devices to connect with and control them using a dashboard such as mobile application, such as any dashboard we can be easily handle, a layman man can easily handle. They include smartphone, tablets, PCs, smartwatches, connected TVs, and non-traditional remote devices are also a part of your remotes which can be easily handled by a layman person. Dashboards are also easily handled. Normal language are include, so display information about the IoT ecosystems to users and enables them to control their IoT ecosystems. It is generally housed on a remote. We can say that TV remote or any type of remote, it can be easily accessed by any type of person. Analytics, so software systems that analyze the data generated by IoT devices. The analysis can be used for the variety of scenarios such as predictive maintenance for future itself, for previous data can be analyzed for agriculture purpose, for we can say that any type of system where we can require a predicted data or the previous data. So this is analytics, so where we can analyze data generated. We can say that flood system, we can say that any type of emergency systems we require the analytics, even though we can use it for the banking purpose itself. Data storage are most important are the cloud big data. So data from IoT devices are stored in somewhere, we can say that big data or a cloud. And the networks, the network communications layers that enables the entity to communicate with their devices and sometimes enable devices to communicate with each other are most important part for the ecosystem, and the network are most important things where we can communicate with each other. So these are the ecosystem for the Internet of Things. Now we can say that economics impact. So predictions have been made that IoT has the potential to increase global corporate profits by 2020 up to 24 billion IoT devices on the earth. 20% is aggregated by 2022 generate 13 trillion dollar by 2025, out of which we can say that asset utilization for 2.2 trillion dollar, employee productivity 2.5 trillion dollar, supply chain and logistics 2.7 trillion dollar, customer experience 3.7 trillion dollar, and innovation 3.7 trillion dollar. Total will become 19 trillion dollar market may be the covered by IoT devices or the Internet of Things devices. So ecosystem impact on the machine to machine connected are increasingly important. Person to person, person to machine, and machine to persons. It can be cover for 45%. Machine to machine cover 45% of market. Machine to person, person to machine, or person to person may cover 55% of market. In the market ecosystem impact are the part of IoT. So IoT ecosystems include some sort of service network. So descriptions of services are business service providers, business solution provider. We can see the different companies. We can say about the system integrator and IoT solution provider. For enterprises, we can see the different companies for IBM, Deloitte, Accenture. These are the few companies which are providing the services. Next is a part of your network. So network operators, communications service providers, and transport information providers are the part of your network. We can very much aware about that. Cisco, AT&T, these are the few companies which may a part of your network. Next we can see about that the software which may include or the ecosystem impact of IoT devices are nothing but your software manufacturers, middleware, and application infrastructure vendors. IoT operating system providers are the most important factor for the softwares. For example, Oracle, for example, Google, Honeywell, Samsung are the companies which may provide a software solution for the IoT ecosystem. Next, we can say that hardware manufacturing, GPS, chip, wireless sensors, wearable devices, actuators, and embedded hardware devices. By using some sort of examples, we can say that Sony, LG, Texas Instruments, Motorola are the examples. So combining with these service network, then software and hardware, we can design a device. We can say that devices are nothing but IoT, Internet of Things devices. So how big it is? We can say in the 1990 it is 0.3 million, 1999 90 million, 210 2010 5 billion, and in the era of 2025 to 2025 1 trillion number of connected devices may be available because of IoT, Internet of Things. And these are the way we can divide that particular 2025 smart appliances 37%, smart energy meter 25%, wearable devices 13%, connected car 10%, smart healthcare devices 10%. These are the few examples applications of Internet of Things. By use it will be cover IoT big in future itself. So industries affected by IoT, we can say that manufacturing industry, transportation industry, defense industry, agriculture industry, infrastructure industry, retail industry, logistic industry, bank industry, oil and gas and mining industry, insurance, connected homes and smart building industries, food services, utilities, hospitality and health, and smart cities are the industries affected by IoTs. And their major IoTs companies are Microsoft, Amazon, Google, IBM, Cisco, Verizon, AT&T, General Electric, Fitbit, Garmin, Honeywell, and BlackRock are the major IoTs companies which may affect because of the IoTs. And their platforms are Amazon Web Services, AWS, Microsoft Azure. We are very much about these technologies platform. ThinkWorks IoT platform, IBM Western, Cisco IoT Cloud Connected, Salesforce IoT Cloud, Oracle Integrated Cloud, and General Electric Predicts are the IoT platform, are the part of. And if we are going to deal with this platform, definitely we'll grab the good knowledge about this. So this is all about the IoTs, technologies, ecosystems, impact, manufacturings, companies, and all. So if we are going to deal with IoT, definitely we'll get the grab the good knowledge, more knowledge about that IoT. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rahul Pathe, for your wonderful presentation. Let us welcome Dr. Harpreet Kaur, Associate Professor and Director, I2OR, Sant Baba Bhag Singh University, Punjab.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I feel honored to have such great opportunity to talk with all of you on this special day that is the National Science Day. National Science Day is celebrated in the India to mark the discovery of Raman Effect by the great Indian physicist Dr. C.V. Raman on 28 Feb 1928. He was also awarded with the Nobel Prize in the physics in 1930 for the same, and the theme for the celebration of this day is Women in Science. Across the whole country, this day is celebrated with a great zeal by the students and the faculty through the various activities like science exhibitions, quiz competitions, debate, lectures, and many more in their concerned institutes. The main goal of the National Science Day is to bring the awareness in the people about the importance of the science in our daily life and to encourage the people by popularizing the science and technology. Scientists, inventors, and the researchers and various experts of the different areas also discuss the recent trends in the new technologies in the various fields. With the rapid advancement in the science and technology, our celebration motive should be to provide a supportive platform to the young generation for showing their innovative ideas, talents, efforts, and the achievements in the field of science and technology, and how this will be helpful for the human welfare in all aspects. To give an opportunity to the scientific minded citizen in the country to discuss all the issues and implement the new technologies for the development of the science. To promote the science and the technology in the education across the country, various efforts has been taken by the various council and the bodies in the whole country. As an example, as per the guidelines of the MHRD and now Ministry of Education, all the higher education institutes established IIC, that is Institute Innovation Council, to systematically foster all the culture of the innovation among all the higher education institutes. The aim is to encourage, inspire, and nurture the young generation by supporting them to work with the new ideas and the technology. The main theme for the celebration of this day is Women in Science. So to encourage the women in the science, it is important to support and stimulate the young girls to involve in the professional and the scientific activities. They must be aware of the development in the science and the opportunities for their respectful livings. Women scientists can provide an opportunity to make a remarkable contribution in bridging the gender gap, remove the barrier of the negative attitudes. The women scientists can be the role models to provide with the great science literacy and the competency in the daily and the future lives of the women. So to implement all such activities, the National Academy of the Science Allahabad has also taken the initiative to celebrate the Year of the Science in 2012 and 13 by organizing various workshops for the role of the women and the teachers in the promotion and the application of science and technology. Science and technology has an important role in education as well as in the society. The role of science and education in the education has greatly impacted in the pandemic situation that the whole world has faced since November 2019 to the till time. Technology makes online, virtual, or the distance learning more accessible than ever. Without the wonders of the internet, people would not be able to get the access to any type of the information at every moment they think of. Students and the teachers can access the information at any time. Moreover, they can interact with each other at any time apart from their physical distance through the various modes, online modes, various apps. Technology makes the collaboration more effective. As an example, in the traditional classroom, if we think for the traditional classroom culture, if we want to organize the groups, assign the projects, suddenly a class becomes a complete mess. But with the online tools and the apps, it offers a unique setting for the students to encourage in the group. The study of the science and the technology acts as a constant urge to acquire the knowledge. It deepens our sense of mystery of creation. More we know about the secrets of nature, more we realize how much remains unknown. Today, scientists speak of the wonder of the nature with the thrill of emotions. So, as per the modern curriculum or as per the national education policy of the studies, must include the subjects of the science and technology at every level because the modern man needs a scientific mind in approaching the problems of life. So, at the last but not least, I congratulate the organizing body, that is I2OR, and the whole team for the successful grand celebration of the National Science Day and invited me to share the ideas with many experts and the talented young personalities. I convey my best wishes to all the creative and the talented young minds to give the contribution for the upliftment of the lives across the society and the country with the development of the technology and the science. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harpreet Kaur, for your valuable words and sharing information. Let us welcome Ms. Anupriya Sharma, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Technology, Manav Rachna University, Haryana.
Hello everyone, greetings of today. Thanks for inviting me on such a great event of National Science Day 2022. I am Anupriya Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Technology, Manav Rachna University, Faridabad. So today we are going to discuss the role of science and technology in education. So let's begin with a quote of a great personality, Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And indeed, it's true. Today, if we look around us, look around the development, where the world is going towards, it's truly amazing. And this is all because of good education. But before we move towards the technology, science, let's see actually the figures, the literacy rate of India. If we start from 1997, we could see the figures are improving. According to a report, India has raised the literacy rate from 71.96% in 2018 to 74.4% in 2021. Here in the graph, we can see the overall percentage of literacy is increasing. And here in the graph, we have shown the difference between the men and the women. And it shows that women still needs to work on, they still need more exposure towards the education. But still, it's very positive to see the growth. Growth is positive and the figures are improving. So in recent years, technology has played a great role in increasing the literacy. But there's a big shift in education. We have seen that in recent years, technology is emerging like anything. There's a big shift in education industry. What we studied in the classroom 10 years, 20 years back, there is a huge change. Not only it has made the learning easier, the students love to go to school. Students are enjoying the studies. And there are students in rural villages, rural areas, they do not have access to the classrooms. They do not have access to the schools. But with the advent of technology, they are availing the facilities. They are learning the things online. So technology is changing how it is impacting. If we talk about our schools, private universities, private schools, government sectors, every school has a smart classroom. Smart boards are there. And if we talk in a more enhanced manner or more detail, we could say nowadays we are getting into machine learning and artificial intelligence. It is being introduced in schools only. And students are learning a lot. They are driving us towards the growth and innovation. And there are numerous online platforms nowadays. If we talk about social media platforms, e-learning platforms, there is knowledge everywhere. But we need to focus towards the right direction. Now, in past 2 years, if we talk about how we know COVID has impacted our lives, almost everything was shut. Schools, colleges, universities, no more access to the classes, no more access to the school classrooms. But still, our students were learning. The learning was not stopped. And how it happened? Thanks to all our online platforms, thanks to the technology, we were still connected. Students were still able to communicate with their teachers. Teachers were able to monitor the students. They were able to access. They were able to take their exams also. We have seen this thing happening. And it was a great learning. If we talk about internet and mobile connectivity in India, still 54% of urban and 32% of rural population of 12 years had internet access. 99% of both urban and rural internet users aged 12 years used mobile phones to access the internet. 11% of Indian households have computers such as desktop, laptops, and tablets. And 94% of households have internet facilities, included limited bandwidth connection. So there were numerous facilities provided by the government. During the COVID outbreak, government has come up with various e-learning platforms. Some of the e-learning platforms are like digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, is Diksha. E-Pathshala, Swayam Prabha. Recently, Prime Minister Modi has launched a PM E-Vidya program. Under this scheme, the top 100 universities of the country will start educating students through online education. All those students, think of those students who are living in rural India and they do not have access to internet. A very excellent scheme that was launched was E-Vidya. That will be called One Nation Digital Platform, a TV channel called One Class, One Channel was launched for the students. And it was launched for the class 1 to class 12. And many students were benefited through this scheme. Other than this, these are the various links that are there for the e-learning platforms. Now comes to machine learning. So what is machine learning? The concept of education is completely transformed by machine learning. What it is doing, it's not only benefiting the students in research and innovation, but also helping the teachers to identify the slow learners and following effective teaching methodologies. Similarly, when we talk about machine learning, artificial intelligence is bound to come. Artificial intelligence has put a biggest impact in education industry, I could say. In education sector, if you talk about schools, if you talk about colleges, I think students are getting personalized learning experience. They are able to easily visualize the things. Their concepts are getting more stronger because they are able to visualize the things through virtual reality, would say. And not even the students, but even the faculties get more time for research. By they are automating the tasks, automation for administrative activities also. Like lot of the time of teachers were spent in administrative activities like grading, assessment of worksheet. Now, if we talk about artificial intelligence, input, now there is a concept of automated grading. A teacher is able to generate a form with a multiple choice question. It will mark what is a specific mark for a particular question. And the moment students submit the form, it gets automatically graded. It gets the marks. So now the efforts are reduced. And there are many more other things in how to find out the students who need more attention in the class. And there are so many queries that can be solved or handled by bots in no time. So reducing social and academic work pressure with artificial intelligence. And then we have the experience of personalized learning. If we talk about students in schools, it has made quite easy for the students. It is convenient for the students to learn from various, virtual reality concepts. So other than this, they have an option of constructive feedbacks. Timely with artificial intelligence, students and teachers both can get constructive feedbacks. There are reports that get generated if a student want to work on a specific topic, which topic he or she needs to focus on for better learning, and what methodologies or what kind of improvements a teacher needs to add on in its lectures. So such kind of a thing. So there is a huge role. And another thing is accessibility. Due to some reason, if a student is unable to attend the school or college or university, he or she is not able to physically be there in the classroom, AI has made everything possible for a student. The learning will not stop. Okay, so we have seen that there is a big, role of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So there are some of the educational application that have put a considerable impact. One is Thinkster Math. So Thinkster Math, previously known as the Tabber Math, has rapidly become the world leader in personalized computer-based maths tutorial. And other than this, we have another app or a website, Brainly, is a knowledge sharing community. GradeScope is an American edtech company that offers online artificial assisted grading tools for higher education. And Duolingo is an American language learning website and mobile app, those who wants to learn foreign languages. So these are some freely available, I would say, apps are there. So AI in education industry was 1 billion USD in 2020, and it is expected to grow at compound annual growth rate over 40% by 2027. By 2030, it is expected to generate revenue of 25.7 billion USD. So, like we discussed just now, artificial intelligence, various application in education, automation, improvement in learning, constructive feedback for both faculty and students. So at last, I would like to conclude it that the aim of technology is not to replace teachers, but to transform way of teaching. So if we talk about the student point of view, technology gives the quietest student a voice. I found it very interesting. Every student is unique, and every student should get a chance to learn, equal chance or to learn the things. And I think these online platforms, the technologies are helping a student to learn. And there are no boundaries and there should be no barriers in learning. So with this, I would like to thank the organizers, I2OR India, and I would like to congratulate them for organizing such a great event. Thank you, all of you. Thanks once again for inviting me for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anupriya Sharma, for enlightening us. Now, let us welcome Dr. S.V. Vasantha, Associate Professor in the Department of Information and Technology, MVSR Engineering College, Hyderabad, Telangana.
Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you so much for inviting me for the National Science Day 2022. It's a great pleasure to talk to you all on this special day. I have been into research field from past 12 years, explored areas like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and bioinformatics, and also published various peer-reviewed journals, patents, books at international level. I have witnessed technology which is changing all these years rapidly. One of the challenging things is to explore it as it develops. Today, on this occasion, I would like to discuss about the history of National Science Day, its significance, and theme of this year, and science and technology for sustainable future inventions of science and technology. Coming to history of National Science Day, every year on this day, that is February 28th, we observe National Science Day to mark discovery of Raman Effect by physicist Sir C.V. Raman. This day commemorates Sir C.V. Raman's great invention, that is Raman Effect. This Raman Effect is very significant in analyzing molecular structures of chemical compounds and some other optical signals in which wavelength differs. Such kind of analysis exactly needs Raman effect, need to be like involves this Raman effect. So I would like to throw some light on Raman effect. What exactly this Raman effect is, where when a light ray or a beam which is transmitted through a transparent medium, it deflects by molecules and changes its wavelength. Because this different wavelengths will have different colors in the light ray, this forms the spectrum. This is Raman effect. For this great invention, he has received Nobel Prize. And he was the second laureate, Nobel laureate, to receive from India. Rabindranath Tagore was the first Nobel laureate from India, and he was second Nobel laureate from India. And he has received this Nobel Prize in 1930. But then he has received the first Nobel Prize in Science for Asia. Exactly, he has received Nobel Prize in Physics. So this was our first Nobel Prize by C.V. Raman in Science. So this day is marked as National Science Day. Every year we have a theme. So I have included past 2 years themes also here. Theme of 2020 is Women in Science, and theme of 2021 it is Future of Science, Technology and Innovations, STI, their impacts on educational skills and work. Theme for this year is Integrated Approach in Science and Technology for a Sustainable Future. And this theme was launched by our Union Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh. So I would like to discuss more about the theme, which is Integrated Approach in Science, Technology for Sustainable Future. So first we'll see these terms, science, technology and sustainable future, and then we'll see some future inventions related to science and technology. Then we'll discuss about integrated approach. Coming to science, it is a systematic study of structure and behavior of things around the world through observation and conducting experiments. And this application of scientific knowledge which is gained for practical purposes is nothing but technology. Sustainability, which improves our quality of our lives. At the same time, it preserves natural resources and also protects our ecosystem in such a way that it meets the future generation needs while protecting our ecosystem and preserving natural resources. This is nothing but sustainability. So we'll see some of the future inventions by science and technology. First of all, I would like to discuss about wearable devices. I've started with wearable devices because it's the hot trending technology which is integrated into wearable devices which we wear, like glasses, watch, or it can be integrated into clothes we wear, shoes, and other we have this may come as a patch or a belt that we can that can stick to our body. These devices provides us personal assistance in our daily life, and not only that, it also monitors our health. Like we have devices to monitor our heartbeat. We have variable biosensors too. First of all, what are biosensors? Biosensors, nothing but biological sensors. This exactly measures our biochemical results or reactions of that, and results of this are converted into electrical signals, which actually gives us measurement of our or closely monitors our health at molecular level. So this can provide a continuous health monitoring that exactly which is required. We usually go for a monthly checkup or a yearly checkup. Instead of that, this is actually preferred where we have a continuous monitoring of our health using this biosensors, and that too more precise because these are biosensors. And here, like we have discussed about wearable devices, I'd like to discuss about IoT and how they are connected. See, these all wearable devices can be connected to wireless devices around us, like the best example is our smartphone, and this wearable devices, whatever data it gathers, can push into or send that information into mobile phone, and this can be like all the devices, laptops or other wireless devices around can be connected. Automated cars, all these can be connected, and even these are connected to cloud where information can be stored. So I would like to take example which exactly shows the how the current scenario can be changed with the help of this wearable devices and wireless devices when they are connected exactly. So I would like to take one example. Here, suppose a person is traveling in a car and he is suffering with severe pain in the heart. That may be symptom for heart stroke, so which he requires immediate attention, right? So might be because of biosensor or some wearable device. The device has detected this information, and this information is passed on to the family members, and nearest hospital, it has detected a nearest hospital, right hospital for the person, and passes information to them, and even it might have alerted the people around to provide some, so that first aid can be provided, and even it has maybe passed the messages to drone which can provide a first aid service to it, a service to the person. And it can, or the person is sitting in the car, and this information the car has detected, and it automatically drives to the hospital, nearest hospital. So you can imagine how might be more than a person, these devices are really acting and caring for a human, and it can really help in an emergency situation, right? So this kind of change we may expect in the near future with the help of this wearable devices integrated together and connected. Coming to precise treatment, what we can have in the near future, precise treatment. So here we have an example of that. Glioblastoma, which is a deadly brain cancer, a kind of brain cancer. And for this, Department of Neurosurgery at Houston Methodist Hospital, this hospital team has designed or created a magnetic helmet. This helmet is providing treatment for this brain cancer. Okay, and this kind of therapy is known as oncomagnetic therapy. It is actually what what kind of treatment it is giving is, when this helmet is worn by persons suffering with this cancer, the tumor size got reduced. They have applied on a particular patient, and they have observed that the tumor cell size was reduced by 31%. It is amazing, right? So this kind of technology is now, they have actually not yet completed. They're still their experiment is being progress. So these are their first findings. And coming to CRISPR technology, this is a well-known technology for gene editing. With the help of gene editing, we can actually do wonders. Like we can create new variants of different species, and not only that, in several severe diseases can be treated, or with the help of, or we can get rid of those diseases with the help of this gene editing. And CRISPR is the technology which is providing that. And here we have an example for that. In case of cancer, we have a PD-1, which is a protein used by tumor cells to evade immune attack. So these cells can be, these proteins can be removed with the help of this CRISPR technology. And in the near future, solar energy might be big source of energy, and we might find vehicles which are running with the electric power, and we might see only vehicles which will run with the electric power instead of diesel and fuel. and everything around us all will be connected digitally through the network. And biodegradable packages might be using which are made of plant material, which is eco-friendly. And we might be using this active contact lenses, which gives us 3D experience. Not only that, which gives a perfect resolution experience that actually we can't have that experience with our naked eyes. With the help of this active contact lenses we can have. And we might have this nanorobots which are plugged into our brain, which will extract information, and this information can be stored in the cloud. And we might not have a memory or evidence problem in the future. With the help of this nanorobots, neocortex of our brain can be expanded, explored, and can be stored in the cloud, so that if a person want to know the particular person, we can just connect to that and we can explore from the cloud. So that how persons can easily explore of another person in the future. There might be security issues here. That is, it's a invention. At the same time, we have security challenges too. Coming to space tourism, in the near future, people might go for a tour into the space, but this cannot be affordable by common people. Only wealthy person can have that such tours. And people reincarnation through AI, in the sense we can have we can create a virtual version of a lost person. Already the person has deceased, but that virtual version can be created. How this can be done? With the help of nanorobots to extract memories of loved ones from the brain, and this is augmented with the DNA sampling of deceased person to create a virtual version. Okay, thus another science invention might come after 20 years, expected to come after 20 years, 20 to 30 years. And already we have witnessed self-driving cars, and in the future we might have all self-driving cars on the road, and this will reduce traffic problem. Not only that, accidents will be reduced, and not only that, we'll have fine for ourselves. We'll save our time in driving, right? We'll not waste our time, or we can find time for ourselves with the self-driving cars or automated cars. And mobile charging can be done with the help of a plant. The energy generated from plants' photosynthesis can be used as a energy source for charging our mobile phones in the near future. And not only that, ocean's thermal energy can be a renewable energy, which can be used, which is unlimited exactly. So this can be explored and can be used as an energy source in the future. And drone solutions for discovering untouched places where human cannot reach. Such places can be explored more with the help of drones, and these drones even provide a 3D map of a particular area where humans cannot reach. So these are few inventions which I have discussed, which may be possible in the near future, or maybe in 20 to 30 years. And we have more actually, and I'm expecting after 10 years we'll have ourselves found with the devices or gadgets, and surrounded by devices, and devices assisting us in all our daily life activities. And the theme which is picked up or suggested for this year is very much suitable for future science and technology, which is integrated approach for science and technology, right? So integrated approach will be used for inventions. inventions will be involved in integrated approach, in the sense which will be a blend of different streams from like engineering streams, different streams of engineering, and which is combined with the medical stream too. So all the different like biotechnology, engineering, mechanical, electrical, electronics, the different streams are involved into an invention. That is how a future will be, future inventions will be, and which will be benefiting our humankind. So with this, I would like to end here. All of you, happy National Science Day. Thank you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. S.V. Vasantha, for your wonderful presentation. I2OR National Science Day Awards 2022, recognizing remarkable contributions of individuals through different categories, which includes research excellence, academic excellence, young researchers, young scientists, and young scholars. We have received 320 nominations for the InVid Awards, and 38 profiles were selected for the occasion. So let's begin the proceedings by recognizing the awardees on their special day. Our first category is Academic Excellence. Our first awardee is Dr. Wahid Thawar Balwan. Our next awardee is Professor Rehan Safi. Our next awardee is Dr. Sunil Nangrani. Our next awardee is Mr. Kishore R. Danau. Our next awardee is Dr. R. Geetha. Our next awardee is Dr. Dasari Prasanna. Our next awardee is Dr. A. Srinivasula Reddy. Our next awardee is Ms. Vakitha Begum R. Our next awardee is Dr. E. Laivani. Our next awardee is Dr. Mukesh Chandra. Our next awardee is Professor Dr. Damodar V. Prabhu. Our next awardee is Dr. Hiroj Bagde. Our next awardee is Dr. Nimusha Kavi S.N. Murthy Sharma. Our next awardee is Mr. P. Prasad. Our next awardee is Dr. Pavan Kumar Vadrevu. Our next awardee is Ms. S. Pushpa Lata. Our next category is Research Excellence. So our first awardee is Dr. Avinash Kumar Singh. Our next awardee is Mr. Bomanna K. Our next awardee is Professor Dr. Rajiv Datta. Our next awardee is Dr. Shweta Gupta. Our next awardee is Dr. Kapeshwar Mukherjee. Our next awardee is Dr. M. Rathamani. Our next awardee is Dr. Premchand Roopchand Pradeshi. Our next awardee is Dr. Sunil Eknath Shinde. Our next awardee is Dr. Bhandari Ravindra Yadav. Our next awardee is Dr. Sudarshan J.S. Our next awardee is Dr. Kandi Kamla. Our next awardee is Dr. Rivasgan T. Our last awardee is Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Kakulapati. Our next category is Young Researcher. So our first awardee is Dr. Joshina Jose. Our next awardee is Dr. Arun Balakrishnan, MB. Our next awardee is Mr. Abhishek Das. Our next awardee is Dr. Satish Adanki. Our next awardee is Engineer Mukesh Chauhan. So our last awardee is Miss Rincy Rafael. So our next category is Young Scholar. So the award goes to Miss K. Swathi. Our next category is Young Scientist. So our first awardee is Mr. Mohammad Mas Khan. Our next awardee is Dr. Pompey Malakar. So our last awardee is Dr. Satyendra Singh. So all good things come to an end. On behalf of I2OR, I would like to congratulate all the award winners and wish you all Happy National Science Day 2022. Thank you everyone for joining us today.